Hello, how are you guys doing? This is Rob, a Rule of Two review. Welcome back to the channel. And yes, I did officially move. If you've been following the saga of my whole channel situation this past couple of days, you know that I moved from my old house into a brand new house. I'm in a brand new office. And if you hear an echo, that's because this room is a little bit smaller than my last room, and also with no stuff in here. It's very, very echoey. I'm in basically an empty room, which is also why I don't anticipate that I'll be getting on camera for at least the next week or maybe 2 weeks. I'm going to try to make it as soon as possible, but for now, the next couple of videos I'm going to be making will be just audio, and if it sounds weird, that's because I'm still putting things together, so hopefully you can bear with me. And of course, how fortunate is it that here on the first day in our new house is also the day that Sakurai hosted a Smash Brothers event to reveal the first DLC fighter for Fighters Pass 2, which, as we found out in the Nintendo Direct Mini from a couple of months ago, we knew was going to be from the game ARMS, which I have to say, even though it wasn't the biggest surprise, I think a lot of us were expecting that. I do have to tell you that I was really excited when I saw that it was going to be an ARMS character, and I think most people were also very excited, because we just knew that this made sense for several reasons. It's a Nintendo first-party IP, so the more first-party characters we get in Smash Bros., the better. It's also Nintendo's other fighting game IP, so a character from another fighting game coming over to their bigger fighting game, Smash Bros., just made a lot of sense. So I do have to say, it's pretty fortunate how it all worked out, right? That, you know, my first day, waking up in the new house, lots of stuff to do, lots of projects ahead, but I was able to watch this reveal of this character so that I could actually kind of make my first video in the new home. So obviously we all already know that Min Min was the fighter from ARMS chose to be in Smash Brothers. And I have to tell you that I personally didn't really have a preference on which character was going to be in the game. Everyone was thinking, oh, it's going to be Springman. Oh, it's going to be Ribbon Girl. Oh, it's going to be Twintel. I think that those are really the three fighters that, for the most part, broke out and became, you know, I guess if we want to call them stars, quote-unquote, of ARMS. Even though, you know, ARMS sold a couple million copies, still wasn't a huge hit, so it's hard to call any fighter from the game a star. But if you were going to call anyone a star, I think you would call them those three fighters. Springman, Ribbon Girl, and Twintel. And so, yeah, I like those characters. I like some of the other characters as well. I didn't really have much of a preference because I think ARMS is just okay. But seeing that it's Min Min, I think is pretty cool. You know, she's a fine character. They're all fine characters to me, really. And what's interesting is that, unlike a lot of us predicted, Min Min is the only fighter from ARMS coming over to the game. I'm sure that I and a lot of you guys thought that there was a good chance we were just going to see palette swaps for the ARMS fighter that was actually going to make it so that every single different palette was actually going to be a different fighter. Similar to what they've done with like some of the Fire Emblem characters where you change gender between palette swaps, or of course the Animal Crossing Villager, which changed different villager types. And so a lot of us thought that it would have been amazing to have a character where every single one was just, you know, 5 or 6 different ARMS fighters. That really would have been amazing. But when you consider what they would have to do, and then even beyond that, when you actually see what Min Min does in Smash Brothers and how many different moves she has and how unique they are to what her ARMS fighting weapons are, you start to realize that there's so much going into just this one fighter to make her unique and all of her moves and her arm attacks unique, that to make all the different fighters different with different arm attachments and weapons and all these things and to make them all operate, it just would have been an insane amount of work. It would have almost taken them the amount of time probably to make just one Smash Brothers game, just to make one fighter, ARMS fighter, that's actually 6 different ARMS fighters, right? So it would have been nice, that was the dream, but it obviously didn't make sense. And with what they've put into Min Min, and how much variety there is to her combat, I think they've done a fine job. Also, I think it's worth pointing out, honestly, how excited and happy it makes me to just see anything about ARMS being promoted or talked about by Nintendo. And it's always a good reminder, watching footage from the game, watching Min Min in Smash Brothers and her fighting and everything going on, it just kind of reminds me how much I love the vibe of that game. I mean, like I said, it's not my favorite Nintendo game. I don't think it's the greatest fighting game. It's fun, and it's a good time killer for a little bit of time, but really, the novelty wore off pretty soon for me, and some of my frustrations with how the game was put together kind of started to kick in after a couple of months. And so I fell off pretty hard, and I think a lot of people did too. But, you know, there's something to the look and the sound and just the whole kind of aura around ARMS and the characters that really is just a ton of fun. And like I said, it absolutely brings a smile to my face. And, you know, I love the song. We all love the main theme song to the game, and they have that playing in the background of this presentation. And it's really cool, and so I just like seeing Nintendo promote it, and it makes me hope that there is a future for ARMS and a sequel, and maybe they can start to do something more with it. Maybe they can make some kind of single-player content that really feels unique, more than just like, you know, fighting through a bunch of fighters and doing like slam dunk competitions and stuff like that. And I would just like to see an improved sequel. It's very interesting seeing Min Min's moveset and how you can actually change the different weapons on her right arm, which I thought was pretty cool. Your down special move is what actually changes and cycles you through those. It kind of reminds me of Shulk with the Monado blade and the way he fights, even though I cannot do that at all. I'll tell you what, when it comes to Min Min, what I've seen, she seems fairly advanced, and she's the kind of fighter with so many different minute little details and changes and nuances to the controls. Like when you tap the attack, you get kick moves. When you hold the attack for just a little bit longer, that's when she gets her arm attacks, and it's like those kinds of things. I get that they are great for really advanced Smash fighters that can take advantage of all the different minutia of every character's, you know, moveset. I'm just not that good. Like, I'm really just average at best when it comes to Smash Brothers, and I love it to death, but fighters with that much nuance and finesse, I'm just not good enough to, in the heat of battle, which is already so fast-paced when you're talking about Smash Brothers, I just can't really make those twitch decisions to be like, okay, tap for kick, hold for arm, tap for kick, hold for arm, you know? I wish I was that good, you guys, but I'm just not. So, mad respect to this character. I can't wait to fight as Min Min, but she's definitely advanced beyond my abilities. But of course, I do still want to drive home the point that I love the fact that she can change between the different arms and that they all have different speeds, different powers, different abilities. The fact that you can steer the arm attacks up and down just like you can in, you know, the actual ARMS game, where you can steer your arm attacks in any different direction. I think that's really cool. I do appreciate that there's a kick move combo set. Watching Sakurai kind of show that off was really cool. She's got some decent defensive moves, but he did state that she's not the most defensive player and that she's not good in the air or against characters that are good in the air. So really kind of good to kind of hear him break that stuff down so you can kind of understand where she's at. She's got a ton of moves, very advanced offensively, but not a whole lot of defense. So that's where we are with Min Min. I do really like the Spring Stadium stage that comes with Min Min. I think at first it looks kind of obvious and boring. It's like, oh, it's just like the Pokemon Stadium thing, you know, whatever. It's got screens in the background. But then you realize that it's got like a ceiling to it, you know, with like those pillars that kind of cross over the top of the ring, and then the springs on each side that can shoot you up, and you can actually bounce off of those pillars or make other characters bounce off of them as you attack them. That's really cool. And it also has the drones that bring in boxes of items and things, and I don't know, I think it's really cool. It would be really dope if there was like a day and a nighttime setting for this stage. I don't know I can't think of any stages that actually do that in Smash Brothers, so I doubt it, and they didn't really touch on that in the presentation. So I think it's just like a standard daytime open arena, which is fine, but I think it would have been cool if there was like a day or night cycle, or maybe even like a rainy kind of thing. That would just be super sweet. But either way, like the stage, like the character, like what's going on. And so at this point, now that we know we've got Min Min coming to Smash, and she looks great and is probably going to keep us busy for a while, and plenty of crazy, stupid good Smash players are going to get really good with her and annoy me like crazy. We can also start to wonder about who the next character is, you know? I don't think that we should not stop to appreciate the fact that this is the new fighter and let's spend some time enjoying her. But at the same time, we know we've got, I have 5 other fighters still set to come to Smash Brothers. When are we going to see those? Who are they going to be? Is the development and the release time kind of spaced out or delayed, similar to what it was with Min Min because of the whole health situation? Or are they maybe more back on track and they can be kind of, you know, sort of on a regular schedule, despite the fact that we know most people are still working from home in Japan? Who knows? But we all know who I want to see show up in Smash Brothers, right? And that, of course, is Travis Touchdown. I'm still putting money on it, you guys. Travis Touchdown is coming to Smash Brothers. I'm telling you it's going to happen. So we've got 5 more shots at this, okay, Sakurai? 5 more times you have to finally hit this home run and show us some Travis Touchdown. I know what's happening. No More Heroes 3 is coming. He's been mostly exclusive to Nintendo with one HD remaster kind of spin-off thing, and so that's fine. But in general, Suda51 has kept Travis Touchdown exclusive to Nintendo. And that seems to be continuing. Oh, well, you know what? I'm sorry. Travis Strikes Again did eventually get a release on the other consoles like a year later. So I forgot about that. So there has been some situations with, you know, Travis and No More Heroes leaving Nintendo. But like I said, the general vibe and the general preference from Suda seems to be to keep Travis mostly exclusive for his big game releases. So let's see Travis finally show up in this freaking game. And then beyond that, who else are we going to see? Are we ever going to finally see Rayman in Smash? I want to hope so. Some people talk about Master Chief. That sounds great and all, but I sure as heck don't expect it. Then again, you never know, because Nintendo finds ways to work wonders when it comes to Smash, and as we know, Banjo-Kazooie coming over to Smash Brothers was a huge deal, especially because of the Microsoft connection. So yeah, maybe they do find a way to make Master Chief show up in the game. I don't know that I really feel a Master Chief Smash Brothers fighter. Like, it doesn't feel necessarily as right to me, but I don't know. I'm not going to say no to that, so I don't know. Obviously, 5 more fighters to go. Let's see what happens there. And so those are my thoughts and opinions on everything happening with the Min Min Smash Brothers reveal. And that really concludes my first video in my new office, in my new home. And again, you know, thanks you guys for your patience, hopefully working with me as I get, you know, camera stuff set up. I might have to buy a new desk. I've got to figure out the sound in here because it, you know, it's very echoey, like I said. All these different things, but it was really good to have a reason to talk about something and kind of get myself into the groove here in the new space, because right now my life is just a little bit hectic, as you can imagine, with moving and into a new home, and I've got to install a couple things, and it's just going to be crazy. Luckily, I am off work this week, and I also am finally getting to play through The Last of Us Part 2 throughout this week, so all that good stuff is happening. But nice to wake up to Smash stuff. Very excited about Min Min. You've heard what I think. What do you guys think? Are you excited? Are you not? Let's hear your thoughts about it below. And with that, this video is a wrap. Thanks, of course, as always, for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule of 2 Review, and I'll catch you next time on another video.